Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to Pure Hustle TV. Every day is a holiday, every meal is a banquet. Y'all know the motto, we're going to get right to it. Got Charleston White reacting to the Karmelo Anthony, the murder situation that happened with the white kid and the black kid. Of course, they're making it a racial tone type issue. But you know, it's definitely not right for kids to be killing kids, period. But we're going to get into the content. Charleston White reacts to that situation. Let's get to it.
Boy in Frisco stabbed to death by Karmelo Anthony.
Yeah. My heart goes out to the family. They trying to make this a race issue, and this is a right or wrong issue.
Okay. So no, real quick, I like where you're going on this because I'm not even trying to race bait or anything. People are making this about black and white. You see that they're trying to make this kind of like a Trayvon Martin kind of. You know, they're talking about it, but where do you...
It is. Trayvon Martin was an angry black kid that had to be sent to his father because he lacked discipline, grew up in a home with his single mother. Any well-behaved kid with manners that had respect of adults, once George Zimmerman approached him, whether he's right or wrong, as a child, this is an adult. You get off the phone with that fat-ass girlfriend you trying to fuck, you call your dad and say, hey, Dad, it's an adult around here to just stop me. He says he's calling the police. Rather than doing that, he had an attitude because as young black males in this country, we have an authority problem because we walking around angry, displaced from our father's issues, but we resent our mothers.
That's true.
So we're a ticking time bomb. And Trayvon Martin could fight. So that's why I say you be careful approaching some of these young kids. What a 13-year-old will kick a 40-year-old's ass.
That's true.
And that's what happened in that situation. He underestimated this kid, and he was looking for trouble. But by law, he was right. And he was judged by his peers. So we can't say nothing once you're judged by your peers.
Well, what do you think's going to happen in this Austin Metcalf thing? You think he's
Metcalf ass go, well, no, that boy going to jail.
Karmelo Anthony's going to go to jail.
Karmelo going to jail. Because listen, you cannot bring a weapon to school.
Facts.
So you can't say I was
what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because if you are afraid the day before where you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? Parents, you notify the school teacher. School teacher that's bringing these kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution. We was taught in homes that has morals and values, you tell the teacher.
I mean, I kind of understand where Charleston's going with it and the premeditated. But I mean, nobody knows the situation or scenario, like what led up to that. I'm pretty sure nobody brings a weapon just feeling like, you know, it was a reason why you felt like you needed to bring a weapon. Anyway, I can't get around the point that, you should have went to different avenues dealing with the school and institutions type situation. Supposed to go through the proper avenues, tell the teacher, principal, your parents, this, that, and the third. Get your parents to tell the teacher and principal, da-da-da-da. All right, I get all of that. But we living in a hyper-violent time with the young people. So, to actually want them to have credit for thinking and understanding, and they not fully developed mentally, I don't really agree with that part. But also I don't agree with, violence and taking somebody's life because you can't make that right. You can't correct that action. But premeditated or not, y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Back to the content.
You tell the teacher. Somebody fucking with you, you tell the teacher. Let the teacher know so when y'all have an altercation, you're cleared and you're covered. Documentation beats conversation. So where's the documentation to say this is self-defense?
Charleston be on it. Shout out to my dog Charleston. I got to get him here for an interview because I got to pick his brain on a lot of things. He is 100% on it. 100%. If he was so afraid and it wasn't premeditated, because that's what it's looking like, why are you sitting in the opposing team's seats waiting for a confrontation with a knife in your backpack and you have never alerted the authorities? And he is 100% right. They are now about to make this a race issue, and this is, in my opinion, not a race issue. This is an individual. This is the same thing that I say with the police. You deal with the police on an individual basis. You do not deal with them based off of a race. And what I'm starting to see, I see a lot of people talking online how they raised over $250,000 up to $300,000 as a recording of this video for that boy's defense, but they're only doing it because he's a black boy. If it was the other way around, there's no way that they would even be having this conversation about whether or not he defended himself or not. they would absolutely 100% be looking at it objectively. But the skin color is the thing that keeps people locked away in their emotions, and they never can get past it, which is one of the reasons why they make an emotional decisions. And this boy went in there, from what I've read and from what I've observed and all of the news reports and the different witness accounts that they putting out there online and stuff like that, he went in there premeditated with a knife, talking about, I'm about to have some self-defense. Does it mean that the confrontation is 100% pure on one side? Nope, but you definitely do not take somebody's life premeditated, going over and sitting in the opposite team seats, looking for a confrontation, and then find yourself in this situation, and now you claiming a race. Charleston is 100% right, 1,000% right on this one.
It's a premeditated crime because you took a weapon in fear.
Yep.
Anticipating to use it.
It was premeditated, though.
And it said a track meet. You getting ready to run track with other kids and you got a knife on you. No, man, you got to go to jail. You got to go. There's no, so when is it all right to kill the bully? I don't give a fuck what the bully did. He don't have a right to die.
No.
Yeah, I don't agree that bullies should be killed or it should be any kind of violence with a bully. But what I don't agree with is that a bully should be okay bullying. At some point, you run into this type of situation where the bully is dealt with. Is it extreme? Yes. But at the same point, nobody can tell you how to respond to disrespect. So if you choose to disrespect someone, you have to understand you're open to whatever they decide to do to disrespect you back. That's just the nature of life, you know. Do I feel like it's, you know, the bully situation? Yeah, it definitely played a factor. I mean, but then also the young man couldn't have been too scared if he was in the opposite team's tent, which, you know, throws you all off base for why you even there, which kind of makes it hard for you to have your stand your ground argument and self-defense. You're in a location you shouldn't have been in. They ask you, maybe they was in a bully manner telling you to leave, but that wasn't your designated area. You should have been in your designated area. It's kind of like you was provoking the bullies, how they're going to spin it and twist it, definitely when they get in the courtroom. And you're never going to be justified for taking somebody's life, no matter what they said or what their actions are, if it wasn't an immediate threat to your life. Let's get back to the content.
So our kids are walking around with these mafia rules, codes, and ethics of the streets that's held over children about no snitching. So now I have to take a weapon because I don't want to be a snitch and kill another kid. Oh, it's a simple solution. Don't tell the teacher. Tell your parents.
Yeah.
It's a simple solution.
I know, but
tell, motherfucker, tell.
But what sounds crazy.
We got a code that kids live by that don't know nothing about where it came from, and it's not even applicable to our lives. He cooking. Always. He usually cooks.
It sounds so easy, but the thing is, even for the criminal, the guy that would commit an assault, if you stop him before he does the assault, then they don't have to go to jail as long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is not that kid's first time grabbing a weapon. Because most kids who grab a weapon from the first time don't kill people.
Yeah, of course. You bring a gun a couple times before you shoot it.
And if I was being bullied and I'm in self-defense, even though he have an undeveloped brain and he's impulsive, why run?
I don't know.
Why get rid of the knife? You're showing criminal intent. Why throw the knife away where they can't find? He wasn't found with the knife in his pocket. He wasn't sitting down with the knife in his hand ready to explain what happened.
Yeah. So, but do you think that he had some sort of predisposition to wanting to murder? Is that what you're saying? Is that
no. Children don't wake up to kill because they don't have the brain capacity, the brain development to say, I want somebody dead. Children are impulsive.
Yep.
This was a tragic incident where a kid who don't have emotional intelligence acted impulsively because he comes from a culture that propagates violence. Mm-hmm. Every day, all day, kill, die, nigga, shoot, kill. You can't take this in and you lack training. You lack morals. You have to have a foundation of a value system to listen to this type of shit all day long, and you don't have no emotional intelligence where you've been taught to say, man, when you get angry, think.
Hey, y'all seen it, heard it like I heard it. Make up your mind however you feel about it. Leave like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, tap in. Hey, Charleston White be on some BS sometimes. Sometimes his vernacular be spectacular, you feel me? He puts it in a proper way where you can digest and understand pause that, you know, you gotta understand the human nature of stuff too. You can't just play on the way we go with our codes and ethics of the neighborhoods and maybe the streets, or just, you know, it's our culture. I'll say it like that. You gotta apply the universal law, you know what I mean? So just because we stick to a certain code of conduct, this, that, and the third, it kind of forces our hand to actually always sacrifice our life. Hey, that's why a lot of black men are in prison. It's real shit. Like the young man, 18, on his way to do 100 years. Okay, he might do 20, but still, that's from 18 to 40. He's never gonna know what going into the real world and going to college and living the young life is gonna feel like with his 20s. So basically, the system's gonna get all of his youth, gonna spit him back out, hope that he can just be happy and live life from there, and you know, however he can survive in peaceful manner out here, batting the laws or whatever. And they gonna keep a string on him for a lifetime. Gonna probably be on probation for another 30 years if he do it 20. The point is, his whole life is gonna be tied to the system, and you can't get around that. This is a story of a lot of young black men. Also, you have to pay respect to the white kid who lost his life. See, it's a balance around here that we all missing. And if we don't start creating and be accountable for that balance, it's gonna be always off spectrum. Now, who do I back and who do I think is right and wrong? It's not up to me. It's up to the higher power, the courts, and all of that. For me, we all just people watching and making our opinions about the story. You know, depending on what side of the story you be on, your opinion will be different, which is understood. But what we need to do is stop this every kind of color line, the youth violence. We need to attack that as a society as a whole and let this all go so we can build and be constructive. Divided, we falling as a country. But hey, we're gonna see y'all in the next video. Y'all know the motto, every day's a holiday, every meal's a banquet. Please tap in, hit that notification bell so you know what's up when we doing our thing. We get back active out here in the YouTube streets. And yeah, man, y'all live your life, man. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, man. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Be glad you're alive. Remember, every day's a holiday, and every meal should be a banquet.